over on the side, not being able to help at all, and Rude nails him. You saw he came all the way down from King Kong Bundy.
So 3:05 the time, the winners Rude and Bundy. Rick Rude didn't have it all that easy, and I'll tell you, there was a match that involved Jerry Lawler and Rick Rude. I want to show you just the end of it. I don't know that Jerry is going to say this was his finest hour, but perturbed he was, provoked he was, and I'm talking about with Angel. Take a careful look at all of the action that took place. And Lawler trying to get up. He's on the second turnbuckle. He's on the top one.
He grabs the belt. He's got it. Lawler's going to win it. He wins it. 11 minutes, 11 seconds. And now he's wheeling hard. He got Rude, and here comes Angel. Jumps on his back. Rude slams Lawler down, and now beating on Lawler.
Hard from behind. Angel
Driving away at the legs of Lawler. That's better than Rude. But it all stings. Now Rude's got the belt. Hart holding Lawler. Woo! Rude nails Hart. And there goes Rude over the top rope. Lawler's got a hold of Angel. Pile driver. And the crowd responds.
The only thing I can say is you saw her jump right astride Jerry's back, and of course that provoked the whole thing along with previous incidents in there. Angel is not with us right now. You can bet on that. Woo. We're going to be back in just a moment.
Channel 3's Championship Wrestling. Boy, you got to see the entire program today. I want to tell you something else. Listen, coming up Tuesday night, super grudge matches, and I mean a whole night right there in the Garden. Here's just some of them. Southern Heavyweight Champion King Kong Bundy will defend against Dutch Mantell. It's going to be Tommy Rich and Eddie Gilbert. More about that. We'll explain it a little bit later. Also, you're going to see Jerry Lawler and Rick Rude in nothing but a grudge match. Jimmy.
You know what? The family's got a lot of things to talk about today, so I'm going to step out of the way and let Bundy and Rick have the floor, baby.
You know, when I come down here, I told you people I'd be your new Southern Heavyweight Champion. Well, now I am. I've erased the one blemish on my record from that little worm, Jerry Lawler. I beat him, gave him a 5 count, and then I took the Southern Heavyweight title, and I'm going to be the champion for a long time. I'm right back in line, #1 contender for the world's heavyweight title, and I'm going to take that belt, too. Now, Dutch Mantell, you're just going to be an example, boy, to other wrestlers of what happens to somebody when they come after Kong's Southern Heavyweight title. I'm going to squash you like a bug and give you a 5 count.
Rick, you are going in.
Did you see the tape, Lance? Did you see what happened?
Yes.
Big man, Jerry Lawler, real big man. You know what the problem is, Lance? The problem is Jerry Lawler can't beat Rick Rude. Jerry Lawler has to beat Rick Rude's valet. But the problem is now, Lawler, is you don't have no scapegoat. There's no way out. There's no valet. I don't have to look over my shoulder and protect no one else any longer. And, brother, I've been training real hard for this match, not because you're going to put up a fight, because when I start beating you, I don't want to ever tire, Lawler. I'm going to beat you all night long. I'm going to skin you. I'm going to hang that fat hide of yours out to dry, and I can't think of a better place to do it than Louisville.
It'll be happening right there in the Guards. Now, I got to tell you, there's nothing at stake except who's the tougher man, Lawler and Rude. You got to be there. Super night of grudge action. No action like it in the Gardens. I think a lot of the wrestling fans that have seen Eddie Gilbert in the last couple of weeks or so may have had the same question that I had, and that was, what's wrong with Eddie? Out of not only curiosity but also personal concern, having known Eddie ever since, and of course, having been a longtime friend of his father's, we wanted to find out from Eddie what in the world has been wrong, Eddie.
You know, there's been a lot of questions asked around lately, what's wrong with Eddie Gilbert, and I appreciate this time to explain it to you. You know, Tommy Rich and myself were a top-notch tag team, and here lately, I've been kind of hurt. But now I really got to say that I'm really, there's anger, and I'm very mad. For a simple reason, I'd like to explain it to you. And that reason being is that, you know, a lot of times when you're a tag team, you discuss your strategy, you sit back in the dressing room, and you get ready to go out there in the ring and do your best. And Tommy and I would sit back in the dressing room, and he'd tell me, he'd say, Eddie, when we get out there now, I want you to get out there in that ring, and I want you to give it all you got, because, boy, you're young, you're full of vigor and vim, you can do it all. And I want you to get out there, wear the guys down, soften them up, give me that tag, and I'll come in and I'll win that match. Well, you know, that seemed pretty good, but, you know, all the time, but finally, I guess I kind of got smartened up and realized that he was actually using me, and then going around telling everybody that, oh, I did it again, I won the match, and calling the wrestling magazines and the newspapers and everybody, and I think I have a little proof of that, if I could show that.
Flying press, one, whoa!
Well, his strategy worked. He went on, he got the international title match, but you know, then he even turned his back on me, and that was something I never expected Tommy to do. But the really thing that really got down deep in my heart was that instead of asking me, his partner, the guy that really went in the ring and worked my rear end off for him and really helped him as much as I could and thought I was his close friend and best friend, he asked Tojo Yamamoto to go out to the ring to be his manager and wound up winning the international heavyweight title.
Putting his nickels worth in. Here comes Ito. Rich back to his feet. Fires salt right in the eyes of Ito. Covers him with a flying press. 1, 2, 3, and we have a new champion.
Now the greed begins to show in Tommy Rich, as you can already tell. Instead, you know, like, for instance, let me give you a real good for instance. We used to ride up and down the roads together, and instead of starting talking about maybe going back after the tag team titles after he done won the international title, all I kept hearing was, oh man, if I could get a shot at the Southern heavyweight title, the Southern heavyweight title. And I'd sit over there, and I got to be honest with you too, most of the time I was driving the car, and he'd look over at me and talk about the Southern heavyweight title, and I kept thinking to myself, well, shouldn't I have a chance at the Southern heavyweight title? I mean, he's already the international champion. Why shouldn't I get a chance at the Southern heavyweight championship? Well, it never came about. He was the international heavyweight champion. He got his shot at the Southern heavyweight championship, and the greed really started showing because he won it. And then, boy, he was Mr. Big Shot.
We may have a new double champ. That's it. 11:46. Tommy Rich wins the Southern heavyweight title.
Well, now Mr. Big Shot has both titles, the Southern heavyweight championship and the international heavyweight championship. Well, as everybody knows, when you're a champion, you got to face all the top contenders. And at this point, it was King Kong Bundy. And you know, Tommy didn't need me anymore as his tag team partner. He didn't need me as his manager like he did Tojo Yamamoto. But he did find a very, very special position for me as special referee because he knew that he would have his hands full with King Kong Bundy.
Covers him up. This could be it. That's it. 10 minutes 21 seconds. The Southern heavyweight title has a new owner in King Kong Bundy. Bundy, that is the chain. Tommy Rich hollering at Eddie, and now he's hot at Eddie because Eddie didn't call the chain, and Eddie Gilbert leaving the ring.
You know, then after the match was over with, Tommy grabbed my arm, he looked at me and he says, Eddie, you can't do that. You can't count me out. And there once again, Tommy was trying to use me, trying to use my integrity. Let me say something, Tommy. I'm not going to be used by you anymore. Not in tag matches. And speaking of tag matches, I'll certainly never be your tag team partner again. Now, one thing I want to say to you. The only contact ever that I want to make with you again is in the ring, because I want to prove to you and to any of these fans out here that doubt my word that I am a better man than you. And brother, I can back it up. And that's a promise to you and the wrestling world, anytime and any place.
Color TVs from $139.
Okay, ready to go. Back to put him in a cage, and that was the end of that one. 4:58 was the time on it, with the Ito and the Animal winning. I'll tell you a couple of other animals, but real athletes, man. I'm talking about Popo-mania. Randy Savage and Sir Lanny Popo. Got a little clip I want to look at.
You got me in a state of shock. Look at that. Look at me.
Savage has it on the table. What is he doing? He's trying to power grab him on the table. He's trying to power grab him on our announcer's desk. Oh, my God. Oh, my gosh. He broke the table.
Look at me. Look at me. Oh, look at me.
Bad news, Hickerson and the Spoiler. They had some comments to make about Rick and Robert. Of course, it was a situation where they will never live down the fact, I don't care how you cut it, sure, they beat them and bloodied them and all that. They lost 3 times in one day. Let's hear what they had to say about Rick and Robert.
Morton, you and Gibson, you listen real close, brother. Hickerson and the Spoiler are sitting here in sort of a state of shock and embarrassment. The embarrassment part of it and the shock. The shock is that we have got a mark against our record. Someone finally beat the Southern Tag Team Champions. They got a win on us. The humiliation part of it comes because it's 2 young punks like yourself. Because you're punks. But you paid for that win, brother. And you paid for it through your own blood. We beat you like dogs. We left you laying in the middle of the ring and laying in your own blood. And you was begging.
And you was begging us to please quit beating on you so much. We finally got tired of kicking your brains out, brother, so that's the reason why we got out and left you laying there. Let me tell you something, brother. The fight has just started. We're going to pick up where we left off. The next time that you crawl in that ring, brother, with Hickerson and the spoiler, you're going to pay for it through your blood. We're going to humiliate you. We're going to hurt you so bad that you're going to be running to the promoters and begging them to take that loss off our record, and you don't want that win. You mark my words, because I've never told a lie in my life.
I didn't see Hickerson laughing on that. I'll tell you one thing, Rick and Robert, they don't use as many words as Hickerson and the spoiler did, but they had something to say about that particular action also, as they ended up with a record of 3-0 on Hickerson and spoiler that day. And let's listen to what they had to say. Short and sweet.
You know, Ricky, this must be our lucky day, because we got Hickerson and the spoiler. You know, we done proved to all the people out there, and they saw that we can beat them guys in a wrestling match. Now we're going to show we can beat them in a fight.
You got that right, brother. Just like Robert said, we proved to everybody that we can beat the Mid-South Tag Team Champions right in the middle of the ring. We done it twice. 2 straight, Robert. But now this time, brother, we're going to see if we can beat you in a street fight. We don't care what it takes. Come on down there. Bring your cheers. Bring your chains, brother, because we're going to have something there waiting on you. I'm talking about the Rock and Roll Express, brother, and we're going to put you down. I'm telling you that, Phil Hickerson and the spoiler, you are going down by the hands of the Rock and Roll Express.
Coming up in just a little bit, we'll be seeing the new generation going against the Nightmares right here on Championship Wrestling. Back in just a moment.